Recording.
Damn,
Welcome to another episode of Dots and Lines. I'm not going to butcher the intro. We're here talking with my boys about comic books, anime, manga, a whole bunch of nerd shit. Thuggin'. So, me Connell, introduce yourself and what do you do?
Hello. It's your friendly neighborhood Renaissance man, Mikano. What's going on? For fun fact, that is my last name, phonetically broken down. For those that don't know. Shout out to Sniffles.
Yes, sir, Mr. Sniffles, aka Digga Dez, aka all that nuke. You know, we're not gonna finish that last part of that, but just a hating ass young man who loves anime. See, I could be a hater, but I could love things too. So it's all about the brand of hatred.
That's
the
not
correct brand.
Any of that works.
Nah, that's how it all works.
Listen, I was talking to my wife one day, and was when Nicki Minaj was going off about her rants about how like Travis Scott finessed a whole bunch of sales and it wasn't real. And I came to the conclusion, you can be a hater and be right.
There you go.
That's facts.
I'm Grayson Red, y'all. Just a big old-fashioned dweeb. We're gonna get right into the shits today.
Yeah, we all got superhero names. That's fire. Like, I like that.
Fun fact, for all my card games and everything, all the card games I play, my name is Grayson Red. Like, if you see Grayson Red like in the internet, it's probably me.
My shit Connell on everything.
So much so that like when I was playing a card game for like a month straight, people only called me Grayson. Like, I don't think people knew that my name was Justin for a while. He was like, oh.
Speaking of card games, Gundam, they just launched their Digimon, they just launched their app. Yeah. You think I seen that?
Boy, my motherfucking childhood is so happy.
25th anniversary. Got the
app is gonna be in like a selected beta, so I don't even know how you're gonna get in that bitch at first,
But did you see the video for the 25th anniversary of the
Digimon
thing?
Stream.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What are you talking about? Yeah, I watched all 3 hours of it last night. Yeah.
New
anime coming through. This isn't even one of the topics. I'm just being a fucking dweeb. New anime coming October. The digital simulator on the smartphones, which is fucking huge. We're finally in synchronization. This is like super dweeb stuff here, people, so bear with me. Synchronization with the Japanese meta. So all the cards coming out at the same time now. Oh my god, Mike!
Because he went to auto tune, he's so excited.
No, I am excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm excited. Honestly, like Digimon I've always been controversial opinion, always been Digimon over Pokemon.
It's not controversial over here.
That's just
it is if you like printing money.
It is, but Digimon's better. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Better than all of them.
But yeah, so let's get into these. What's up,
bro? Okay, so it's just been a great week for me in general. All this new Digimon news. I found out about rotation in One Piece and how things are gonna change in the landscape for them in a Flash. Speaking of Flash, Absolute Flash released. Guys,
I'm sorry for the audio only people there. Justin just murdered y'all.
Justin just blew out his drawers.
Oh my god! If y'all read this book, you'd understand. Listen, we've been glazing the Ultimate Universe and Absolute Universe since the pilot, since before we even started really talking about like on camera, like for real. And I think every book I've read from either of those companies, Absolute and Ultimate, has been great. And I don't know what to pick as my favorite now because Absolute Flash issue 1 was so good. So good. First off, let me know. Am I the only one that read it here?
I read it.
You read it too?
Yes.
There's our normie at the bottom that doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about. Super quick synopsis. Wally West is a kid with no speed force. There's no speed force in this universe. Okay? He has a cool semi-mentor. You might know his name, Barry Allen.
Casual name drop, sure.
He does no speed powers. He's just a super scientist that works for the military. Keep it very brief. Wally walks in on him doing an experiment. Shit goes boom. Everybody's dead, and he has freaky deaky powers, and his dad's hunting him down because he works for the military too.
Damn.
This is super different from anything involving Flash before, because the Flash usually has like a family. You know, he's not the Flash isn't even Wally West isn't even the first Flash or the second Flash. He's the third. Okay, he's got Jay Garrick, and then he's got Barry Allen, and then there's him. And later on, there's someone under him, and someone after that, and he has kids, and it's the Flash family. He's legit by himself. Okay, he is a fugitive of the state, and the only family that he has is literally trying to lock him up or murder him.
Mm-hmm.
It's so intense. And the thing that I really loved about the book was just because he's a teenager in this. You know, there's been times in our lives where when we're teenagers, we feel like the world's going to end. But his world is actually ending in front of him. For all the world knows, he killed somebody and he stole something from the government. And he's running around, literally run. See what I did there? Running around, trying to get away from his problems, and they always keep coming back.
I think one of the things that we're seeing now, especially with like Ultimate, which is a different take and is darker and is gritty, and Absolute Universe, which is darker and is gritty, but it's not dark and gritty in the way that Zack Snyder wanted with the movies. It's not like that, but these alternate takes of these heroes, which is something that we haven't seen or haven't gotten, because superheroes have always been like, the good guy wins at the end of the day. It's like, what happens when the bad guys are the good guys? What happens when Wonder Woman grows up in hell? What happens when Bruce Wayne is poor? Like, we get all these subversion of these characters that we've gotten for years and years and years. And hopefully we see this bleed over into the movies, just because I want to see a live action fucking 300-pound Brock Lesnar looking motherfucker in a bat suit. Like, I want to see that. But we're getting a subversion of these characters, which is something we haven't seen before. And it's honestly taking these universes in a direction that is different. And granted, things will go back to status quo eventually, because that's just the nature of comic books. Like, they literally print money. But hopefully this does have a lasting impact.
Well, I want to push back against them going to status quo, because this is a totally different universe, and the whole goal of it is to make sure that it's never status quo.
Well, more so what I mean is that once the universe hits the end of its run, they may fold aspects of it into the main DCU and then into main Marvel, but they'll always live as alternate universes. Like Days of Future Past is always an alternate, even though it's referenced a lot. It's still, this shit might happen one day.
Right.
So when I say status quo, I just mean like the books just hit the end of their run. But we have seen some stuff that might indicate that the Absolute Universe might fold over into
They're definitely gonna at some point cross over. I mean, after quick little nerd lesson for you, Desmond. The editor-in-chief of Marvel said when the original Ultimate Universe was running at the same time as the Marvel 616 universe, if they ever cross over or they ever, fold into each other, then we're creatively bankrupt. It happened like 10 years ago. It happened. It for a fact happened. Like, there was a whole presser about it. You take one slice of pizza, another slice of pizza, put it on top of each other. Some toppings stay, some toppings leave. Like, Miles Morales is in the main Marvel universe. Jimmy Hudson, which is Wolverine's son from that universe, is in the main Marvel universe. It happened.
Yeah,
it happened so much. It happened so much so that like characters from the Ultimate Universe in the main Marvel universe have created their own other Ultimate Universe in which the main Marvel universe people travel to try to attack. It's a thing. Great. I love Ultimate Invasion, but
if you want to know the biggest, or at least what I feel is one of the biggest bag fumbles in comic book history, is the handling of the Batman Who Laughs.
That's another conversation. Now, I don't want to talk about this for like 20 minutes because I can talk about that.
I talk about that. Yeah, such a good concept that they were just like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put fucking salt and potatoes and everything. And that's
but Desmond, I know that you don't know much about like Wally West, The Flash, Marvel, DC in general, but I highly suggest that you read this book. This is something directly up your alley.
yeah.
I like the Flash.
I'm surprised
and
you're very Flash coded.
yeah, I love the Flash. Like I said in the last episode, minus all the Martian Manhunter hate. Yes, got his name right this time. But yeah, like, and I'm glad they didn't go and just bury off the rip. So I mean, I'll give it a shot whenever I'm in the comic book store again.
Yeah,
I don't believe DC has a streaming type of deal. Not streaming, but like a Marvel Unlimited to
Let's
where
talk about that. They actually do now.
Okay.
It's official. DC Infinite Ultra version, which I think is the same, like I think $11.99, same as Marvel. You're only 1 month behind the current issues that are being released. It's the same as Marvel Unlimited.
Is it 3? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Marvel Unlimited is 3 months. I forgot.
Yeah.
So you're actually closer. If you can just wait 1 month, you basically get all the books you want to read for $12.
Yeah, and
sounds good to me.
Like the Ultimate Universe and the Absolute Universe are bangers 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't think there's a book, even Ultimate X-Men, which I think it wasn't for me originally. I love where they're going now. I think
Winter Soldier.
I love it. I'm saying that like because I think I texted you guys like in the big group chat like after I read issue 1, and I was like that was really depressing, but it was very true to the character. It's very true to Wolverine's like character without him being in the same setting. So it's like I'm getting my cake and eating it too.
Yeah. It's
what I mean?
Great little.
And let me tell you, the fucking art from Nick Robles in Absolute Flash. Oh my god!
So he's got a suit already.
He does, but he doesn't get it in this issue.
Yeah.
Okay, because that cover was fire.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah. Oh. Because it was everything that I wanted it to be. Like I don't want to keep talking about it over and over again. But it was like, like you ever wanted like a really good pizza, but you're like, I don't know, that pizza shop, I haven't been there before. Do I really want to risk it? You get there and it's everything you wanted. That's exactly what the book was to me.
Yeah, fucking Piccolo's Pizza, fire. But I will say, the thing I'm waiting to see is if the stories will cross over with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash, Martian Manhunter. I hope that they don't do like, all right, there's a big bad and we all got to come together and form the Justice League of this world. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Because that's very power of friendship, and that's probably what's going to happen.
For sure.
I'm fairly certain that's going to happen. But I hope it doesn't. I hope we get better stories than that, because so far the stories have been all different than we've normally gotten.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
So I'm going to give you another nerd lesson, Desmond.
I'm here for it.
Scott Snyder is created one of the best Batman runs of all time. They gave him the keys of DC in the midst of that, and he created something called Dark Knight's Metal, which was one of the high-selling events of the 20th century. Created Batman Who Laughs, whole bunch of stuff, blah, 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 blah. I love him. I love him to death. I met him in person. I almost cried. At the end of the first Dark Knight's Metal, they literally find a special medal, and they literally have to hold hands and use the power of friendship to defeat. I'm not.
No funny shit. Yeah, they had to use the power of friendship.
And he wrote that in there.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, for real. They used nth metal. This is where you edit, and they use where they're holding hands and shit, like they're Care Bears, and they use their powers to get rid of the Darkest Night. I don't care. I don't mind that, but
I do.
Scott Snyder's also heading up this universe. And the big bad of this universe is like a universe version of Darkseid. That exact same thing's gonna happen, guys. It's for sure gonna happen.
Oh, I hope it doesn't. I really that we learned our lesson from.
It was a great ending. It really was a great ending.
Why make them darker if they're all just gonna combine off the power of friendship? Like it was cool in the 80s with Saint Seiya.
No.
Naruto kind of got away with it.
No, this is why it's really important, because on face value, it's just a scarier, darker, grittier version of the DC universe. But this isn't just conjecture. This is what Scott Snyder said. It's about taking away all the things superficially that make you think the hero's the hero, and them still shining through and being heroic. Taking away Superman's like essentially invulnerability, taking away Diana's Amazon heritage or the way she was raised, in Themyscira, taking away Bruce Wayne's riches, taking away the Flash's family, and still being heroic enough and still being brave enough to do what you have to do in front of the worst evils. So when you strip the characters down to the core, they're going to do the same thing, and that's just whatever needs to be done to save the world or just to be a good person.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I get it. I do get it, and I do fully understand it. I just want more from it. But I'm already getting a lot, so I don't shouldn't be like, give me more, even though you're already doing a lot.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll shoot someone for Scott Snyder.
Look at that. Look at the appearance. His first appearance on camera.
Shout out to the pup.
Yeah.
I had a cat pop up, so I can't complain.
He's like 10 years old, so not no pup, but yeah.
Aww. That's a grown ass man.
That is a grown man.
You feel me?
I got bills and a mortgage.
He popped up and said that he agrees he'll slide for Scott Snyder. So
they need to give Scott Snyder a movie. Just like, yo, here's a $70 million budget. Just make some shit.
No, I don't. Let's not do that now.
I mean, Jeff Johns.
Let's not.
Am I wrong? What do you mean?
He was a big part of Wonder Woman 84, and I love Jeff Johns.
Was he a big part of it, or did it just put his name on it?
I mean, from
got credit on the project.
Yeah, like did he?
Patty Jenkins literally said, "I do whatever Jeff Johns tells me." And I love Jeff Johns, so maybe she wasn't telling the truth, but
I think she threw him under the bus because that movie was absolute doo-doo water.
I'm still reading his books right now. I'm reading a lot of his Ghost Machine shit. But
his stuff is good. I like him as a writer. Who wrote House of X and Powers of X? I'm drawing a blank.
Powers of 10, that was Jonathan Hickman.
Give Hickman a movie. I want to see him do some shit.
Apparently, this is where it gets rumory. It's not. It's just us here.
Stop ruining my child. Sorry.
Apparently, he went to Hollywood and tried to make some shit shake, and it just didn't.
Yeah, but I think like with the advent of like comic movies now, he's such a great writer. Such a good writer.
You say that because you can paste the stories in your head. When you make a movie, the story's paced for the person viewing.
Yeah, as someone who writes movies and who writes comic books, soft plug, I honestly do see the crossing of the two genres. And yes, they are paced differently. However, a talented writer is a talented writer.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. I would never argue that. Fun fact, the guy who wrote 12 Years a Slave is the same guy that wrote I Am Batman, the Black Batman.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that statistic at all.
You might dislike it when you find out that he's only half black by the end of the story. So let's get to Solo Leveling. And Desmond, can you pronounce the second anime for me? I've seen it a million times, but I never read it out loud.
You are referring to Gachiakuta, I believe.
God,
we do. Yeah. All right. So
I call it the John with a G.
Gachiakuta. I believe that's how you say it.
Yeah.
When you say it fast enough, it sounds convincing.
It does. It sounds very close.
It's a little bit like a Soul Eater type of deal. Where he can make weapons in the mastery type of deal. He gets thrown off of a Utopia in the garbage. Another New Jersey plug. Got the Patterson niggas out there. Man, all that.
I want you to be mine again, baby.
Shout out to Fetty Wap in jail. that they missed the opportunity for one of the cheesiest taglines ever, but it was slapped so hard. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Ooh, you're right, actually.
I'm sure they said that in some type of Japanese.
They don't.
Yeah.
because that was the first thing I saw. Because I started reading it a few months ago. I put it down since, but like I did start reading it.
And I heard about that 2 years ago, maybe like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, so when they announced that they were getting, so they announced this around the same time as Hell's Paradise because they were like the Dark Trio or whatever. So I started reading it then. I don't, maybe it wasn't part of the Dark Trio, but whatever. But I did start reading it, and that was the first thing that popped into my head was like, oh, this is Soul Leader, but with trash.
Yeah,
cool.
And I'm picking Hell's Paradise over this too, but this does have a lot of steam to it. Yeah.
I like the animation style is so like it fits so well with the narrative of the show because it's like gritty, is even it feels like it's at a slower frame rate too, just because it's kind of choppy. But it kind of reminds me of, what am I thinking of? I want to say, is it Air? No, it's not Air Gear, but it's a show where they had skates and shit.
Are you sure it's not Air Gear?
Jet Set Radio Future.
Oh, yeah.
But
classic.
But anime. Yeah. But I'm excited.
So you guys have like read this. Give me a quick premise, because I've only read like one chapter of this. Give the audience a quick premise of what this manga new show is about.
Feels good, Brett. Yeah, you've read more than me.
So long and short of it is that this kid he gets thrown into a world of garbage for a thing that we will not say because there's spoilers. You got to watch first episode. But he gets thrown into a world of garbage, effectively sees what their like godlike figure is, and is like, I'm gonna kill you at some point. Very Japanese, very anime. But and then like the way that they use their powers is they infuse, and Desmond, correct me if I'm wrong, like they infuse their souls into a piece of something, which effectively they're in a garbage world, so it's all garbage. But they infuse part of their souls into it, and then now that gives the thing power.
Yeah, that's why I compared it to Soul Eater.
Yeah. And the main character has gloves that he is able to not only put his soul into, but he can grab stuff and put his soul into that too.
It sounds weird, but it's really good.
Yeah, he has a constant extendo with a switch on it at all times.
Yeah, that's pretty fire. I think it's really cool that because I've seen images from different chapters. I mean, the creativity of this guy, because he basically has a new weapon every other couple of chapters. A very cool looking weapon, you know.
Yeah. The style of the manga panels kind of reminds me of Tokyo Ghoul.
Okay.
Very, very detailed, like small, minute details, but still very, very well drawn. Yeah. All in all, I'm excited. I hope it does. So I wanted to do what Hell's Paradise was supposed to do. Because Hell's Paradise was supposed to pop off and it didn't. It kind of came and went.
Yeah.
It didn't really
I think we're just waiting. I think it popped.
But did anybody talk about it after it ended?
No.
Except for like us?
No.
Think about it, right? We mentioned Hell's Paradise now in the context of something else. We don't mention it's like, yo, Hell's Paradise is coming back. I don't even know when it's coming back.
January 2026.
They didn't even know that. Cool. But still, like it's been what, 2.5 years?
Maybe a strong two. Like a strong two.
Yeah, Mappa fucked that up though. Mappa fucked that up. That was a rush job on their part.
But yeah, like Hell's Paradise story is good. However, it came and went. And I hope this does not just come and go, especially because we're in a different season of anime. Because Hell's Paradise came out when JJK was coming out too. And it kind of got got little bro. Which is fair.
Yeah. Plus the whole search for the elixir of life. We're kind of already knee deep in one that's doing that perfectly.
I'm so tired of stories retreading, and I get it. There's like 10 stories that everybody can tell because there's only really 10 stories that exist, and everything else is a variation of those stories. But just I would have liked it to be something else other than like we need to find immortality on this island that is effectively Australia. Yeah.
So I guess that's the segue because you sound like one of the people who hated the solo leveling episode. It was all worth it. You sound like one of them niggas who downplayed the grade for that just because he saved his mom and there was little to no fighting in that episode.
No, not at all. So the thing about Solo Leveling is that's his main character motivation is to save his mom. That's why he became a hunter. That's why he wanted to get strong. That's why he couldn't accept death. Because I was about to say spoiler alert, but I'm not going to spoil anything. But that's why he couldn't accept death for the simple fact of like he's like, nah, I gotta get it out the mud because my sister is useless, and this is the only way to make money. I gotta get it in blood, and that's what he did. So the difference between the two is that in Hell's Paradise, the motivation is just to get the elixir for some king nigga. And yes, everybody has their smaller motivations, but the main driving force of the show is to get the elixir. That's why they're there. They're in the race for that. Yeah. But it doesn't mean anything outside of the context of the king wants the elixir. That's it. Because if you remove that, the show doesn't happen. That's the driving force of the show, is that. Whereas with Solo Leveling, his driving force is I need to save my mother. That's his main motivation.
Exactly. That's the climax of the series, and everyone downgraded that episode.
That's the climax of part one of the series. So in terms of like the overall manhwa, I would break it into effectively like 3 parts. I would say that is the first part of the series. The second part is where we're at now.
Chill, baby. Chill, baby. I gotta watch this for myself, baby.
No. No spoilers, no spoilers at all. But I would say the second part is where we're at now once this raid ends. And then the third part, when you get the thing that happens and we get into the rest of the series, that will be part 3. Okay. So for the first part, it ended exactly where we're supposed to end. He accomplished the reason he became a hunter in the first place. It wasn't for him. He was weak. You think he wanted to go out there every day and get his shit kicked in? No. He's not invincible. Double entendre there, but
what you did there.
But he wanted to do this for the sake of his mother, and that's it.
Yeah, I just find it weird how if everyone's like, "Oh yeah, let's hate on Naruto for becoming the Hokage finally," like it's literally what he set out to do. So Naruto, I don't understand how you get to 2 seasons of him being a mama's boy, aura forming,
exactly,
killing, you know what I'm saying, and then top rate every other episode that includes fighting. But let's just make this episode the least rated episode of the series.
Like you gotta have
really dumb.
Oh, you can't just you can't have action. You can't. There is no show that does that is successful. You have to have slow moments to give you a chance to rest.
Desmond, I heard you say like you hate fans. I think
hate fans.
I think, well, ironically, like there is a contingent of fans in all media that really only want to see their favorite character or the protagonist do cool shit because they've imprinted on them. Like, and it's really sad. Like I've noticed this with comic books like a lot. Like when a main character like gets their shit kicked in or makes a mistake or blah 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 blah. I see so many people online like really like take it personal. Like, bro, if this is a real actual story, things have to go good and bad, right? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to see your character grow, he has to go through some emotional pain and some emotional, like, happiness. I'll never forget this. This shit was the weirdest. This is when I knew, oh, I'm not one of these guys. There's like a variant cover. There's a variant cover of like Captain America dancing at a wedding, and She-Hulk was leading because she's like bigger. And I saw grown men, like I was in my 20s, and these people had to be in their 40s. Really, bro, flipping their shit, saying Captain America would never have another man lead. It's like, what? Like, the fuck are we doing? It's a comic book, guys. Like, it's a variant cover. You can see your favorite hero not be just whipping his dick out all the time and still be okay. It's so bizarre.
I think people get attached to the stories, and they get like you said, they get attached to the stories, they get attached to the characters. So they imprint on them, and they're like, all right, it's like playing a first-person video game where you're playing the character, and they sort of lose that barrier of reality.
Sure. For sure.
And they're like, oh, I would never do that. Even though if you were dancing with fucking She-Hulk, yeah, She-Hulk's gonna lead because she's like 610 pounds, solid fucking muscle. You're not going to lead her. It's not how that works. But these people, they live in their fantasies of, if I was this character, this is what I would do. I'm pretty sure in ancient Greek times, niggas was reading the Odyssey and like, I wouldn't have done that. I would have had sex with Calypso. Like,
Shut your bitch ass up.
yeah, like, dog, it's like, people can't separate the fiction of it. In their mind, they get wrapped up. Or even them getting vehemently upset when a character changes. Like when Miles Morales took over the mantle, people were legit boycotting.
Yeah.
Like, people were like, I don't want to see this. This is not my Spider-Man.
Bro.
It's a comic book.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
the
don't
touch grass. We need the touch grass ENT on them type of fans.
Yeah, man.
It don't make no sense.
Shout out to Touchgrass ENT, the Instagram channel. Shout out to them because they was on to something. You need to touch grass every now and again.
Grass. Some niggas need to touch grass, bro.
Yeah,
y'all remember?
Tag them in the video. We need to tag Touchgrass ENT because they was on something for real.
You remember when the end of Attack on Titan happened, and then like people really flipped their shit? Dog. It's because, and this is my theory. Like people can debate me about this. I'm not going to debate back. I really feel like a lot of these people thought that Aaron was right because he was just this big mastermind and he just had everything figured out. And then when they saw, oh, he was like a hurt kid that didn't realize the best way to deal with all of these problems in the world, it was like a personal affront to them. Like, I'm not stupid. Yeah. I would know exactly what to do. I'm not scared. And they, and people said that the ending was terrible because of that. People like that, man. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's real sad.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, especially when you have stories like that, and I reflect back to Code Geass where like Lelouch did the same thing and he was like, all right, I got to make everybody the enemy so I can protect my sister. And that was it. That was his baseline motivation, was that. You have instances in comic books where people are, and manga and anime where people are like, all right, I agree with the bad guy. Even if the bad guy is like, you know what? Let's 80% of the world just, It's like, dog, that's not always there's diplomacy, but in people's mind, especially in like their power fantasies, they're like, if I had the power to do that, that's what I would do.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
Shout out to Pain.
Shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga.
Real quick, while we're still on anime, we are getting the last 2 episodes of the solo leveling. So we're getting out of the raid. Everyone died, as y'all saw at the last episode.
They got their ass whooped. Different. If you ain't watch it by now,
I think some of them died. The healer, he may be dead. He may be actually like deceased.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that nigga.
He's super cooked.
This nigga took him and took his healing ability. Now he could speak. And I ran up on the homie. I'm like, hey, are you the king? On some Killmonger shit. Like, yeah, I need to know if you the king or not, because it's up.
I love when characters are just like smoke gods, and that's it. His main function is to run hands. Yeah. That's it. There is no like, I need to protect my people. I need to protect my mother. He's like, nah, these hands though. What's up?
It's why Majin Buu is my favorite Dragon Ball villain. Like,
you said who?
Kid Buu, like
smoke god.
Man, just like having no reason with him. That's so terrifying to me.
Yeah,
it's so terrifying.
It came out. It was like terror. That's what I am.
Yeah.
I'm terrorized.
See, and that's another reason why Diamond is canon from
Yeah, I know.
He was created that way.
And I'm excited, but still, yeah. But honestly, solo leveling, the last 2 episodes might be one of those things that it's not going to shut down Crunchyroll. It's not going to break the internet, but
I don't know.
Be peak. I will say that it is the thing that propels us into the rest of the series. Like I'm so excited for it, and there's a lot of others that are excited.
Series on all of Crunchyroll, bro.
Yeah, good.
I mean, they've been breaking records all throughout the whole season. New York top 10, I believe, bestsellers or something like that.
The volume 11, like that?
Yes, the manhwa has entered New York Times bestseller.
The only thing that they've been doing is they've been downplaying the relationship between the Japanese and the Korean hunters.
Oh yeah, that's not even subtle. Not even subtle.
A Korean manhwa. It is not a manga. Yeah. So you have instances. So like there was one moment where the Japanese hunters, where they were like sparring, and at the end of the sparring session, the Japanese hunter was supposed to look fucking absolutely shook after he sparred with Jinwoo, Sun Drip Woo. He was supposed to look shook, but he didn't. And they just like passed it. They just passed the moment because they didn't want Japan to look bad, because it was a Japanese hunter that was absolutely shook by this moment. And then there's another moment in the recent episode too that they glossed over because it favors Japan in a bad light.
We got to remember geopolitical issues. The Japanese and Korea have had a thing for a long time. Yeah. Related a lot to the fact that, the Japanese were literal Nazis terrorizing Asia.
Literal.
So,
Yeah, they're doing their best. The rebrand is crazy, though. The rebrand is crazy.
The rebrand is super wild.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember? I forget this Asian woman, but she's a singer, and she was talking about how she's tired of like aggression from like neo-Nazis and like ethno-states. Mm-hmm. And she said it to some, I don't know this man, but I guess he was like politically not left-leaning. And he said, "You want to talk about ethno-states, you Japanese bitch?" Like, let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy.
Yeah.
But I will say at least they're doing a good job of adapting the manhwa, and we're not getting God of High School.
Yeah, for sure.
Say it again.
Good print, and they just like shit the bed. Yeah. I'm talking about like Colostomy Bad, Broken on the Bed, shit the bed. Like,
yeah, they try to rush like 100 chapters into like 4.
Yeah, it's like shit the bed so bad you got to burn the house down because the smell won't come out. It's that bad. I was upset. I was deeply upset by it.
I got a couple dates for the spring.
Hit us with shit.
We got Yahaba, the samurai legend, creator of Detective Conan, 90s little anime. I believe it's like 93, 94. That's coming out the 5th of April. There'll be 13 episodes of My Hero Vigilante, April 7th. Hey, Lazarus, I'm surprised we haven't talked about Lazarus as the creator of Cowboy Bebop. That's airing on Toonami, so don't get it twisted. You would need to watch that on air.
Did you see the last anime that they made?
Nah, what was it?
Space Dandy? Yeah.
Nah, it was called Ninja Kamui, I think. It was Ninja something.
That was them?
I think so.
Yeah, but this is they got the John Wick producer. They got
but I've seen them take a swing and a miss.
I gotta watch before I say nothing.
Quick premise with that. Some guys slinging opium and painkillers, and he's like, haha, JK, in 30 days, I have the cure for this. If you don't get it, you die. And that's Lazarus.
It was Ninja Kamui. Yeah.
Okay.
It was definitely Ninja Kamui.
That shit was doo-doo water.
The first core. We got the first core of Fire Force, April 5th. And Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quacks. I believe I pronounced that right. Yeah, there you go. Justin over there getting hype.
Well, yeah.
Did you see the movie, Justin? The pre?
You shitting me?
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but
yeah, I saw it in person. It was great. I saw it with fun fact. Actually, no, let me not. I don't want to tell anyone's business, so I'll tell a quick story though. I went to the movies by myself. I only get like 2 nights by myself a week because kids and everything. So I was really excited to go. I went to the movie. As I walk up, I see 2 of my like nerd friends because I want to see it or whatever. And I was like, "Oh, great! You mind if I sit here?" Yeah, cool. There were seats there. 2 minutes into the movie, I realized it was the biggest mistake of my fucking life. I don't like to. You guys know I don't like to watch things with other people because people try to make commentary. People try to be funny the whole time. They were doing all that on top of just being emotionally emotionally delayed. Okay. So you know when there's like a serious or tense part of a movie and people stay quiet because they let the moment sit. They were there like, what's going on? I wanted to punch them in their fucking face. Oh my god! Like, let me feel the emotion the movie's trying to portray. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like when you see big old anime titties, you go, oh, you're nice and then fucking.
Maybe they're just better off with the card game with the Gundam.
Yeah.
Maybe they
Is it
won't tune in.
so? Is the new anime part of the Universal Century timeline, or is
It's
it
an alternate. It's an alternate branch off,
okay?
and you'll see like within the first like 30 minutes how it's got to be an alternate version. It starts off like that, like Universal Century, and then like there's clearly a deviation point.
Have they ever finished that? Like, have they finished it? Because I would like them to. I would like to see the end of the conflict. You know,
No. It's just like real life. War never ends.
that is facts. That is
They
facts.
did say the person who made I always mispronounce this. Jillian. Yeah, no, that, and yeah, they're making this.
He was a producer, and
I hate Evangelion so much.
really, you know,
Wow.
I've never.
It starts off so good, and then by the time we get to the middle, the dude is standing over the girl's bed playing with himself. Like that's
The concept of the angels, though, and everything.
I got you, but listen to the escalation I just said.
Yeah.
It starts off so good, but the concept of angels and the world is ended, and we're trying to figure out. And at some point, he's beating his shit over, standing over a girl who's in a hospital bed.
Sounds like Death Note.
How do we get from point A to point? How, like, you get what I'm saying?
I feel you.
And then the teacher is a groomer.
You know, guilty.
Yeah, make it make sense.
I've never officially watched Evangelion. I've seen so much of it and so many references to it that I know like all about it. I need to watch it one day.
Yeah, the only part they reference is like the first 5 episodes. You don't see any other references to it.
No, I saw a good reference to him beating his shit in front of a homegirl while she was knocked out.
There you go. That part, yeah.
And I also got reference to how the world basically ends and the show ends. Do you know that they had like an official ending, but like 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet because split up against like video games and shit. Like, no, just tell the story in one medium.
Well,
I don't want to.
Oh, so right. The original anime ran out of budget for the last like 2 episodes. They ran out of budget. So it was like a weird fever dream of like a clip show of the voice actor talking and just like live action, like stop motion clips of stuff. So then they redid it and they split it into 3 parts and they told the story with better pacing and they split it to basically like anime movies. They made 3 OVAs, part 1, part 2, part 3 of the series. And then they redid it again. Same concept, 3 OVAs, part 1, part 2, part 3, better animation and semi better pacing, and they kind of fixed the ending a little bit, but it's still like the same thing. The main character still kind of sucks.
Shut up, Percy. It's peak. In the robot, bitch.
Dog, I've gotten into so many arguments with people over Evangelion. People that particularly do love the show, which is okay. People are entitled to love their show. I love Code Geass. It's very problematic sometimes, but I do love Code Geass. A lot of the time, it's problematic. I can defend it. I won't because time. But people like what they like, and that's okay. It's okay to like what you like. You can still like something and be wrong.
It goes back to what we were saying earlier about people imprinting on characters. Like people swear they're fucking Shinji.
I don't see why. He's such a weenie. He's like like Deku if Deku never grew up.
Yeah, but he has all this power, which is what a lot of these dudes wish they could be themselves with no like real, actual, tangible like good traits or any morals or any strength,
fashion.
But they wish they could just like get a whole bunch of power and do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Shout out to the incels. Well, no, don't shout out to the incels. Fuck them.
Unless you're watching the show, I mean, we love it. You know what I mean? But we hate women too, bro. Fuck it.
Fuck it, we ball. Shout out to Sun Drip Woo for real.
Yeah, that was a hard cut back left. Holy shit.
We had to circle it back some type of way.
But that's
all I got for anime.
Okay.
No, thank you, dog. I do know that One Piece comes back as well.
Yes, I believe it's the 6th.
Yeah,
Shout out to
April
you
6th.
want to talk about some shit that's gonna break the internet?
Ooh.
Luffy's going to fight a group of people, and the fandom will connectively nut in their pants.
Yes. I still stand behind the fact that Luffy Gear 5 was this generation's Goku turning Super Saiyan.
April 4th.
Same moment,
One Piece.
same energy, same stakes, same hype. It was the same moment, damn near beat for beat, except for like no one really dies in One Piece. Like people die, but like no one ever really dies except for like Ace. Ace died.
These guys, for sure.
You compared it to Super Saiyan 1 or Ultra Instinct? What did you say?
And one. Super in terms of impact on a anime moment and impact for a generation. Because like we grew up with Super Saiyan. For the new generation of anime watchers who are actively watching One Piece, mostly because of the hype surrounding it,
Yeah.
Luffy Gear 5 was that moment for them. Because it was a new transformation, thing that they had not seen. It was hinted at, but a thing you never knew was going to happen in a way that it happened. The stakes were there, the storytelling was there, it made sense, and the animation was absolutely peak.
Yeah, they put their bussy in it. They put their bussy in that animation.
Mm-hmm. All of it. Yeah. But yeah, shout out to One Piece. And it's coming back in the Egghead. Like, dog, it is honest. So that the moment that we're about to get is the moment in the manga where Oda was like, all right, we're done with world building. Time to get into the actual show now.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you're dead ass right. Like this is where
yeah.
My wife is a big Reddit user, which is still trips me up to this day. And I know, right? And she said, what's going on with One Piece? Like during Egghead, I'm like, a lot. Like a lot.
Yes.
Because every time a chapter would drop, they'd just be going crazy, thousands of posts because there was a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about.
Literal lore drop. Every chapter was the equivalent of like a world-changing lore event. Like
it felt like 2 months straight.
Boom,
boom. Oh, fuck.
He was cooking, and then just didn't talk about it. None of it is addressed, and well, parts of it are addressed now, but like it kind of happened, and now we're getting the same thing on Elbad.
Yeah, so that's because Oda's damn Desmond. You don't watch One Piece. I'm sorry. So bear with
me. It's all good.
You need
like I said, I'm gonna catch the Netflix adaptation of it. I don't really. Y'all can keep talking about it.
Okay.
Not the live action. I meant the One Piece. You know, the newer paced animation of it.
My mother-in-law loves in live action. By the way,
it's good. As far as live action goes, in terms of anime, it's one of the best we've ever gotten.
Yes,
because all of them have been terrible,
except for Rurouni Kenshin. That shit was great.
Yeah, well,
pedophile or not.
Yeah, well, he had petabytes of CP, so fuck him.
Yeah. But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh well, fuck it.
All right, well, since you brought up Reddit, that was actually like my I had no one to talk about with Mr. Robot because Phil like never finished, and like that is literally the best show for real. Like Mr. Robot is
anxiety.
I don't care. It's the best written. Sam Esmail is like top 3.
I'll give you that. It is, but the show gives me physical anxiety. I watch one episode and I'm like, all right, I need a drink or some weed. I need something to calm down my nerves.
I needed Reddit to talk about
it's so good.
Yeah. I mean, he snorts morphine.
Good.
There you go.
That shouldn't be the selling point, but yes,
I'm telling him why it's depressing and like a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah,
I don't want to get spoilers.
And especially in terms of the way that the world works now, when they say life imitates art, it is like the best example of internet culture. Even still, that show could come out today and would still be banger after banger.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, it would be better if it came out today because that was still early internet. We were still in Web 2 at that point. We're in Web 3 right now, which is nerd stuff. But like we're in a different age of the internet, whereas that stuff is more relevant now than it's ever been.
I got one day I'm gonna tap in.
It's good.
There was a Trump appearance too, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, dog, crazy.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime if you want to watch it.
Speaking of Trump appearances, Wilson Fisk is playing the shit out of a good Donald Trump in Daredevil Born Again.
Ooh, the study of Justin's transactions, man. Transactions.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm trying, baby. I'm trying to cook.
that boy cook.
Listen, a lot of what's going on in Daredevil Born Again, which is our final topic, it's hitting so close to home for me. I was watching with my wife yesterday, and she was like, "This is a little much." So,
Yeah, just for Hector.
Just for Hector. Were you guys watching?
Yeah,
you guys watched?
Yeah.
The concept of making the like really digging into the concept of the Punisher police.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, dog, it's like the meta commentary is so good. It's so good.
It's funny because it's like meta, but it's almost just straight up saying it. It's like you said earlier, art imitating life, because it's like, yeah, but this is kind of like happening, which is absurd. So for the listeners at home that may not have watched episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again, Hector is dead because he got shot in the fucking head by a cop that idolizes the Punisher. And there was a really powerful scene where where Hector's niece walks up to Matt Murdock and expresses he was just fucking Hector from the heights and he got killed by the cops, so nothing's going to happen. And I'm not going to lie, we've been through our fair share of shit growing up in racist ass Hamilton, but that hit really home for me because that's how it happens, bro. Like, Black Lives Matter was those women that ran the organization were some bullshit, but what was the conversation at the time is things that we really went through and what people go through to this day. I don't want to serious this out too much, but like seeing that, although it made me uncomfortable for a second because it's like, damn, this is so real, it's so unfortunately relatable, it was powerful because it was just said.
Yeah.
That was like my favorite part about Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when they were just saying it. It was like just a conversation that someone was just unleashing on you. The show was a 10 out of 10. The conversation between Punisher and Matt was a 10 out of 10. Another raw emotional moment of just like grieving and loss and what to do with that pain. And then seeing Wilson Fisk just be a torturous asshole at the end, confirming everything I thought about that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Mwah. I couldn't get enough.
The thing I really like about the Daredevil show, aside from like the camera work is crazy.
No, the music is crazy.
Yeah, the camera work, the music, like it's literally like a package of a show, and for it to be almost a throwaway because so that's what I consider like the Netflix shows where like they kind of just like was like, all right, here's some shit, go in the corner, play with your toys. And for it to consistently make banger after banger with like the scraps, essentially.
Yeah, they had shoestring budgets, from what I understand.
And has now become like, oh, we actually cooking over here. Oh, y'all cooking over there? Let me get that. Let me take that back. And now that we've got it, now it's becoming more mainstream. And now we're going to get the Defenders at some point because you got to bring them all back if you're going to do it. Even if it's in a different way. But I feel like they are going to bring all the Defenders back. But my point is like,
you better talk to Mike Coulter.
Yeah, from like the camera work, the music, the story is very grounded, and I think this is a thing that we don't get from like a Thor story or from like an Iron Man or even Cap to that degree. We get more grounded stories because Daredevil has real consequences. Daredevil can't, like, if he falls off a building, he gets hurt.
Yeah.
See him get hurt.
Yeah.
See Iron Man kind of get hurt, but he bounces back in 20 minutes. We see Captain America. I've never seen Captain America really get like hurt where it's like, oh, he might not make it. That man limping. Like Matt Murdock go through some shit and he needs physical therapy for 6 months to recover.
Yeah.
He's a regular dude that can hear really good. That's it.
Yeah.
So I feel like when we get more grounded stories like that, it's better storytelling. Because we're used to seeing like motherfuckers fighting Thanos and shit like that. But like with this, it's just like him. He's just a regular nigga. He's a regular dude. He goes to the bodega, get a chopped cheese like everybody else.
Speaking of regular niggas, that nigga Leroy was an ER, bro. That was my only gripe with this episode. Oh, y'all talk about how beautiful the conversation. I was like, bro, this nigga Leroy need to get locked up, bro.
Bro, I get what he was saying on principle, but I'm like, dog, you just got out of jail. You can't rob.
Right.
You can't steal from a place, bro. I get what you're saying, but bro, you're not the one that can do that. I'm sorry.
Oh, and who's the dude with the mask and the who is that villain set up to be?
That's Muse.
Yeah.
He's a sicko.
That ain't crazy.
In the comics, he can negate Daredevil's powers, like of hearing and things of that nature. Didn't negate his radio sense or whatever.
Yeah. Can you imagine that's the way you see, and then somebody snaps, and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
Is it because it's like a interrupting frequency, or he just turns it off?
But I'm not gonna lie, I forget because this story is like 10 years old.
Yeah.
This story was around when the Inhumans was trying to be a thing.
Yeah, he was actively murdering Inhumans and using their blood to make paintings.
Yeah.
So it's dark. It's a dark ass story. And that's also going again, glazing Daredevil again. The fact that they are able to tell dark stories like that and still not have it be like a rated R rating, because that's like he guts people and then paints on the walls with their blood.
Yeah,
uses their bones for sculptures and shit and statues.
Yeah,
like, he's sick. He's a sicko.
Yeah, no, he's a fucking crazy person. Yeah. But
the show is just so good on so many fronts. I would shout out John Bernthal. He's just the Punisher. He's the only Punisher I give a fuck about.
Yeah, it's very interesting too, this intersection of like when you see a person that is supposed to be that character, like Tony Stark and like Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark. I can't see anybody else playing that role. Peter Quill and Chris Pratt. Yeah, like Star. Like I can't see anybody else doing that. And John Bernthal and Punisher, it just fits. Even like Charlie Cox and motherfucking Matt Murdock, they are that person. And then the person that plays Wilson Fisk, whose name I'm forgetting right now, but it's like it's perfect casting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of that is just them like really giving a fuck about these roles. They take this shit so seriously. Mm-hmm. Like John Bernthal apparently quit the show originally because here's some behind the scenes stuff. Apparently, Daredevil Born Again was absolute shit. Apparently, it was garbage at first.
Yeah, rewrite that shit.
Tracks. They were 6 episodes in. Kevin Feige, and a group of people, not just him, saw all 6 episodes and were like, "What the fuck is this?" And they got the guy who produced the Punisher TV show to come over and do some work. And they finagled and said, "Listen, we'll jerk you off, John Bernthal. We'll give you some extra time. Listen, you can smack him in his ass and get to write part of the Punisher series that's going to come up, which is actually the truth. He's writing a special short. They gave him all that to get him to come back. Come again?
Did anybody glitch out? It's just me.
Yeah, you was a little You was a little glitch.
I lagged out.
Yeah,
that's fucked up. See, it's the MCU snipers. But yeah.
As soon as you said behind the scenes, bro, shit said. Yo, that's crazy. Like on Q&A.
Funny as hell. Literally, as soon as you said behind the scenes, you started moving at 10 frames per second.
That's crazy. I'll keep it short though. The show wasn't good. They had to butter up John Bernthal, and they got the producer from The Punisher to come and be a very important part of the show.
Yeah,
we good. Kevin Feige didn't reveal all your secrets.
See, that's why we talk about showrunners. Shout out to episode 1.
Shout out episode 1.
Yeah, go back and watch all them shits, y'all.
Yeah,
all of them.
But yeah, Daredevil, Born Again, 10 out of 10.
Fuego.
Yeah, there's only like 4 or 5 episodes left. I think they're only going to do 9 episodes.
Oh, that's a good amount.
Yeah, and then they're originally going to do 18.
Right? Yeah.
Well, 18.
Yeah. Do they? Like 30 minutes a piece, though.
What? No, I don't want to see 18 episodes of anything in 2025.
No, I'm saying like normally they do 18, but they're 30 minutes a piece versus like
they're like 40.
Yeah, they're not that long, bro. It feels that long because it's that good. You feel full after. It's like
So right after
45
that,
minutes.
we're getting Thunderbirds, right? Right after that's
Thunderbolt,
done.
yeah.
Yeah,
You said Thunderbirds.
I did.
Shout out to Thunderbolts, man. Which is just Guardians of the Galaxy, which is just fucking
With
Suicide
street level heroes.
Are we ever gonna get that asterisk in there? What's going on? Is that supposed to be like a Daredevil thing?
No, the asterisk is supposed to be because they're not heroes, but they are saving things. So it's Thunderbolts asterisk.
I think the Thunderbolts. This is my theory. I think the Thunderbolts was the asterisk is supposed to be Dark Avengers, but
Yeah,
they
because
can't
I feel
call it
like
that.
they're waiting for like a reveal or something to get the last part of it.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember, Phil, but like 5 years ago,
Mhm.
I sent you a message. I'm deep into these rumors, and most of these rumors end up being right, which is kind of scary.
Mhm.
Someone leaked the fact that they were writing a Dark Avengers story.
Yeah, I remember,
And
but you can't do Dark Avengers without Norman Osborn.
that's not. I mean, you can't do a lot of things without a lot of things, and comic movies tend to do it. You can't make a Venom movie without Spider-Man. They made 3.
Oh my god, I fucking hope they don't do Dark Avengers without Norman Osborn. Because it was like, well, I guess because there's no setup anymore because they've shit the bed with Secret Invasion.
Didn't they mention Skrulls in this episode?
They did mention Scrolls. Scrolls is a thing. Scrolls has been a thing since Captain Marvel. So
Secret Invasion was a summer event. Secret Invasion should have been the lead up to the next like thing. Like we shouldn't be getting like multiverse shit or like Doom World. We should be in the era of Secret Invasion where people are coming out of scrolls or they're finding people at scrolls to set up the next series of movies. But
yeah, I
Yeah,
would
but
agree.
I blame that on the Nick Fury
that
show.
is,
It's like, yeah, let's not do this now.
they could have done literally anything else, but that is above my pay grade. I'm just here to enjoy movies.
Yeah, bro. Don't talk too much shit, and they'll start freezing our podcast again.
Yeah, my shit gonna lag out. Yo, that shit was
No, we got Elliot on our squad. It's all good.
high key.
We want to. You don't want to go blow for blow with hacking with Elliot. So that's something that they don't want to do.
Shout out to Mr. Robot. It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's my suggestion. For the day, that's my suggestion.
Speaking
It's
of
not anime or comics. Matter of fact, it is supposed to have a comic out,
yeah,
but they're kind of delaying that. But I'm
Delaying
gonna
what?
read it.
Just-
The Mr. Robot comic.
Huh?
what's your suggestion? Fuck.
Absolute Flash.
Absolute Flash.
Absolute Flash. Guys, go read Absolute Flash.
Okay. I am rereading an old manga that's still coming out. It has an anime adaptation, but only one season. Seraph of the End. It's about vampires. I'm on a real vampire kick lately. I blame Ryan Coogler.
Ooh,
Shout out to
that
Hellsing,
movie
too.
looks real good.
Nah, we're gonna switch your thing to Hellsing. Everybody go watch Hellsing.
Shout out to Absolute Flash.
Look at this nigga.
That shit hard.
I'm glazing.
I just don't want them to fucking power of friendship. We have to be dark side. I don't want that.
Enjoy the ride.
What is Batman gonna do?
Like versus Darkseid?
Yeah.
The same thing he did before. Jump around and throw shit at him.
Yeah. The difference is before Batman had explosives and shit, this one is just yoked. That's it. That's his power. He is just absolutely yoked.
He can make a bomb. He'll be all right. He
Yeah.
blew up his whole building the second issue. He can make a bomb.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, wait, nigga, what? Yo, all right. Hey, that's it for greatly appreciate your time.
Of pocket, the flag on the play. Sorry.
Fun fact: the hack on 5'9", they blew up the. So yeah, watch Mr. Robot. It's deeply into why I am the person that I am, and
Don't say that.
yeah, no, it's.
I've seen the show. I know exactly what you're referencing. Don't say that. Anyway, so Justin, you were saying?
Hey man, thank you. This has been another episode of Dots and Lines. Be safe, be easy.
Peace.
Bye. Shout out to Anime Tears.
Sustin, we making a Sustin appearance.
Crazy.